It started with a sting of laughter echoing around that polished oak table. The kind that cuts deeper than any knife because it comes from the ones who should know better. The snow outside our Westfield home fell like silent accusations, blanketing the world in white while inside. The fireplace popped and crackled, casting flickering shadows on Mom's crystal glasses and Dad's stern face. I was there, 25-year-old Elena Hart, squeezed into my usual spot between them, my black wool dress feeling like armor that didn't quite fit. Across from me sat my brother, Lucas, 27, all broad shoulders and easy charm in his navy shirt, the golden boy who'd always been the family's pride. He'd just announced his big promotion, voice booming with that false humility he wore like a badge. Big things ahead, he said, swirling his wine. Closing deals that could change everything. Mom's eyes sparkled with approval. Dad nodded like it was gospel. And then, without missing a beat, Lucas turned his smirk on me. Speaking of big things, Elena, how's that little graphic design side hustle going? Still doodling logos in your sweatpants at midnight? The table erupted, Mom's polite titter, Dad's gruff chuckle. It wasn't the first time they'd mocked my passion, treating it like a childish whim while elevating Lucas's every move. But that night, as the prime rib cooled on my plate and the jazz hummed low in the background, something inside me snapped quietly, like a thread pulled too tight. I didn't lash out. I just reached for my phone under the tablecloth, my fingers steady despite the heat rising in my chest. The screen glowed with an email I'd received that morning, confirmation of a major contract for my design firm, the kind that would silence doubts forever. But I held back, letting the laughter fade into awkward silence, the weight of their dismissal settling like lead in my gut. That moment wasn't about triumph yet, it was the spark of a fire I'd feed in the shadows, born from years of being the invisible one. The afterthought in a family obsessed with how things looked from the outside. The week leading up to that New Year's Eve dinner had been a slow burn of dread. Mom's text had come through like a court order, family gathering. 7 p.m. sharp. Lucas will be there. No excuses. I stared at it in my cramped downtown apartment, the city lights blurring through the window as I debated skipping it. But guilt was their weapon of choice, miss one event. And the calls would pour in, laced with disappointment. So I replied with a thumbs up, tossed the phone, and braced myself. Our family home in Westfield hadn't changed, colonial charm wrapped in holiday lights, the scent of rosemary and roasting beef wafting through the air. I arrived early, snowflakes clinging to my coat, and Mom greeted me at the door in her pearls and cashmere, her eyes scanning my outfit with that critical nod, no hug, just a steer toward the table. Place cards in her elegant script pinned me in place, right across from Lucas's empty chair. He arrived fashionably late, dropping his leather briefcase like a trophy, ruffling my hair with a "Hey, kid sis" that made me flinch. Dinner unfolded in its scripted perfection, plates passed, silverware clinking, talk of weather and neighbors' new cars. But Lucas couldn't resist steering the spotlight back to himself. "I've got this massive client pitch lined up," he bragged, leaning back. Digital marketing overhaul for a Boston firm could net 7 figures. Mom beamed. Dad raised his glass. I poked at my food, silent. Then came the jab. Elena's probably still tweaking pixels for fun. Right? Cute hobby. More laughter. Sharper this time. Dad leaned in, voice low. "Don't embarrass us again, Elena. Lucas is making real strides." The words echoed old wounds from high school, when I'd chosen art school over their approved paths, only to be labeled the dreamer while Lucas was the doer. I swallowed the retort, tasting bitterness. But my mind raced. Under the table, I pulled up a quick search on my phone. Lucas had mentioned the firm's name. Forums lit up with whispers, shady dealings, promises of quick returns that vanished. My pulse quickened. This wasn't just mockery, it was a mask for something rotten. As dessert arrived, cheesecake Mom claimed as homemade, I excused myself to the bathroom. Mirror reflecting back of face schooled and calm. Back at the table, Lucas was deep in his glory, showing mock-ups on his phone. I saved screenshots. The storm inside building, layer by layer. New Year's morning hit me like a cold wave. My apartment silent except for the hum of my laptop. Notifications flooded in, final contracts from Apex Designs in Boston. The same firm Lucas had boasted about pitching. I'd been working on it for months, my graphic design evolving into full branding suites for health tech startups. The deal, 6 figures. Full rights transfer. Wired by noon. I clicked accept. The email confirmation a quiet victory. No cheers. Just steam rising from untouched coffee as memories of the night before replayed. Lucas had waited until plates were cleared. Napkin folded neatly. This Boston gig, I'm their bridge to the big leagues. The founder's some anonymous artist type. Needs my expertise. Mom clasped her hands. Dad toasted silently. I stayed mute. Thumb on my phone. Then, as he grinned at me, see. This is how pros play. I rotated my screen. Apex's logo shown. My name bold under, acquired by. That anonymous artist? Me. Deal closed this morning. Lucas's fork clattered. Mom's cup rattled. Dad cleared his throat. Wordless. The room shrank. Chandelier light glaring. I stood. Chair scraping. Pocketing the phone. Enjoy the night. Outside. Snow bit my skin as I drove away. Rear view showing frozen silhouettes. The city ahead felt like escape. But the hurt lingered. A seed of betrayal taking root. Lucas wasn't just belittling me, he was building his empire on lies. And I'd glimpsed the cracks. 2 months dragged by in a haze of isolation. Lucas's message popped up in a coffee shop. You humiliated me. Didn't realize your work was real. Talk. I read it. Thumb hovering. Then locked the screen. Silence was my shield now, no replies to Mom's check-ins. No reactions to Dad's posts. Lucas tried again. Voice lighter. But I deleted it. Work consumed me, freelance gigs. NDAs. A potential move to Seattle. Then I met my old art school contact. Mia Voss. At a Hoboken cafe. Sharp-eyed. No nonsense. She slid in with her laptop. Heard about your sale. Congrats. I nodded. Then asked for the favor, dig into Lucas's deals. She pulled up threads I'd missed, his alias, LC27, a Delaware shell company. Crypto pitches promising 20% returns. Victims poured out, retirees wiped out. Families chasing dreams turned nightmares. 7 figures across dozens, Mia estimated. Regulators dragging feet. I leaned in. Voice steady, package it. Eyes only. We parted. Wind off the river matching the chill in my veins. That night, cross-referencing her finds with records. Lucas's name linked to transfers, no outflows. Just vanishing funds. Resolve hardened. This wasn't revenge for laughs, but for the trust he'd shattered. The lives he'd ruined under our family's blind pride. Lucas's promotion gala was the pinnacle of their facade, black tie at a midtown rooftop. Hudson views. Live band. CEO keynote. He forwarded the invite with emojis. Time to shine. Mom sent gold foil cards. Unity matters. Be there. I stared at them. Mia's USB drive in hand, 30 slides of damning evidence, timelines, screenshots, victim quotes. Lucas's pitches on video. We rehearsed, connect during dessert. When guards were down, I chose a midnight blue gown. Mia in emerald. Our steps synced. At the event, Lucas spotted us. Tuxedo sharp. Handshake firm. Glad you came. The night built, networking. Speeches. Lucas boasting at the bar. Flagship crypto close, millions. Mom clapped. Dad slapped the table. As tarts circulated, Mia slipped to AV. I connected. The screen flipped. Investment fraud exposed. Gasps. Lucas's pseudonym glowed. His voice boomed. Guaranteed gains. Mom's hand flew up. Dad froze. CEO's eyes locked on Lucas. Out. Now. Whispers erupted. Phones recording. We left through a side exit. The weight lifting. But the cost sinking in, family bonds fracturing under truth's blade. 6 months on. Lucas's empire crumbled. Lawsuits. Seized assets. Reputation in tatters. No jail. But civil ruins, jobless. Isolated. Mom and Dad sold the Westfield house to cover fees. Arriving unannounced at my Seattle apartment, we sold it all. Can we rebuild? I let them in. Twin beds in the guest room. Silence the new normal. Conversations surface level. Trust rebuilt in quiet acts. Lucas's pleas went unanswered, blocked. Returned. Mom admitted one night, we elevated him. Diminished you. We're sorry. No hugs. Just nods. The betrayal scar remained. A reminder that silence can destroy illusions, but also carve space for what's real. The price? A family remade in humility's fire. Boundaries, my quiet strength.